Just waiting for Orville to log on. Wow, there he goes. The
What's up?
man, the myth.
How you doing, man? How you doing?
Yo, man. Good, bro. Good. Basically, I don't be doing like podcasts and live like that.
I got you. I got you.
I only started doing it when I watch people do interviews on Instagram Live and you know all these places.
Yeah.
And basically, they always ask the same questions. You
Mm.
know,
Uh-huh.
and I'm like, they ask the same questions because they don't know these people. So they don't know what to ask. I
Right.
go, I know things about them that's way more interesting than, what do you think about this?
Yeah, yeah,
All
yeah,
that
yeah.
boring
The old
stuff.
run of the mill stuff.
Yeah, and I'm like, these people, like, they've been through a lot more than what people know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Now, this is the crazy thing, bro. Um, I can't believe. Oh, we got Dance Edgar. Two inspirations. I love watching you dance.
Bless Edgar, bless man.
Can you see a lot of people? Can you see the questions or the?
Well, I'm seeing the writing coming up onto the screen there.
Yeah, okay. Some people can't see it.
Mm.
So yeah. So basically, I'm like, the way I feel, I'm like, it can't be that long ago, you know,
Yeah.
but it is. And now I'm here talking about back in my day,
Yeah.
you know,
It's crazy
but
long ago.
yeah, but it doesn't feel that way.
No, not at all, man. It feels like it was last week, but it's been
Yeah,
when I started looking back at videos and stuff like that because I had to send you some stuff, and we're
but
dating
it
stuff
is. And
back
now I'm
15 years
here
ago, man.
talking about back in my day. Hold on. You
Yeah,
know?
it's crazy long ago.
Yeah. There you go. All right. As you were saying?
Yeah, so I was looking back at stuff, and that's 15 years ago, man. That's like 15 years or so.
Yo, it seems like 3 years ago.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, I don't know what it is, but it doesn't seem that long. Nah.
All right, so let me get right into it. So I'm gonna say some things that you might remember, you might not remember.
Right. Okay, let's go.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna let you tell your story. Um, I was known as the most creative person in the scene at the time. You know,
Of course. That's how I actually knew who you were because when I was coming up in the ranks, they used to talk about you and what you were doing already.
well,
So
think
yeah,
about
that's
that. I'm already got I got that that hype around me, right?
yeah.
And I got invited to judge a competition in Canada, and that's when I saw Paul and Dora from Canada,
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
Toronto,
Yeah.
and
Paul and Dora.
you,
Yeah.
and I'm sitting there judging you guys do two of the most creative choreographies I ever saw.
Oh
And
yeah, didn't Paul and Dora do the elf
the
one?
clown, they were like the
Yeah,
clown, like
yeah,
the
yeah,
yeah,
the
the
clown
jokers and
elf.
stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
She was in the
yeah,
bag, it came out of the bag and all that stuff,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then you came out and I remember a lot of people would have um they would do the choreo, then they would do reverse, but you took that reverse to another level. I remember you did your move. You took your fedora or a hat, slid it across the stage, and paused, and reversed it. The hat came back to you. Come on,
Oh,
bro.
oh my gosh, yes. You know what? I would have never remembered that if you didn't say it.
Bro, I remember you went like this. You took the hat, slid it across the floor, and it went far. It
Yeah.
slid across the floor, and you paused, hit reverse, and when it reversed, the hat came. It looked like someone put reverse for real. Before
Yeah,
that,
man.
people did it kind of corny in a corny way, but you made it look exactly like it was reversed.
Oh yeah,
And
man, I remember that.
yeah, so now think about this. I'm here judging you guys, and I remember this is the first time I'm saying this. As I'm sitting there, I said to myself, I'm supposed to be the creative one. Like if I would have been in that competition, I would have came in last place. You know? So I was like, that was like a little bit of a wake up call. You know, and I was like, oh my God, like I can't just be thinking like I'm the only one, you know? And over here people are stepping it up.
Yeah.
So I told this to Paul and Dora, they didn't believe me. I go, because of those choreos that you did and Paul did, when I went home, that's when I did my famous guitar routine with the girls with instruments.
Yeah.
It was because of that.
Business.
Yeah. It was because of that I did that choreo. Wow. So I'm like, if it wasn't for that competition, I probably wouldn't have done it because I was comfortable being known as one of the creative ones, you know?
Yeah.
So when you guys did that, and after that, that's when I used to be tired of seeing the same styles all over and over here in New York, New Jersey.
Right.
And I had a social called Break Away from the Norm Social. And I invited you, and you were like, yo, but that's New York, you know, and I danced on one.
Yeah, I remember. We came down with, who was it? We came down, didn't we come down with Powell as well?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember.
And I said, it doesn't matter. You can dance on 1, 2, A, B, C. They're gonna love your show.
That was crazy.
Yeah. And Grisel had her dancers. They did a bomba piece.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you're still up, but at the time you were the nurse, right?
Yeah.
Because Chachi went so hard in her performance, she started like hyperventilating.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Who came to the rescue? Orville comes to the rescue. Yeah. So,
wow.
I remember when you performed.
History for me, man.
Yeah. I have it on video somewhere. But I remember your standing ovation was like 5-6 minutes. It wouldn't stop. It was on and on and on. You know, like. So, being that what I just said right now, what do you remember when you was like driving down, you know, getting ready to perform in New York?
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, you know, like coming from Toronto or coming from anywhere, you know, New York is like one of the meccas of when it comes to dance and when it comes to dancing onto mambo and all that kind of stuff. So we were taken back a little bit because we were really just on one dancers, you know. And at the time, you know, there were these pockets of on two dancers happening here and there. But for us, it wasn't really like, we were just like, oh my gosh, you know, we're going to have to perform in front of them. And in general, you know, I think on two dancers just had a different type of flair, a different type of movement, of being, of understanding of the music, all this kind of stuff, you know. So we were a little bit intimidated. But you know, for me, like I've grown up in the battle scene, so I took it like that, you know, and I took it like, okay, well, you know, we're gonna have to go out and do our thing. And yeah, that standing ovation was so crazy to me. Yeah, I never did I expect it. But yeah, we were taken back by it. We were a little bit we were excited, but at the same time, we were also looking at it going, God damn, you know, what are we doing? What are we getting ourselves into? So it was kind of cool that it all went well. Yeah, man.
Yeah. So then after that, I remember I was, I think it was San Francisco. I was judging a dance competition. All right. So now this is where, again, for everybody, I'm going to be jumping back and forth because I'm trying to tell you a story. You competed in San Francisco.
Yeah.
It was the Blade.
Yeah.
The famous Blade, you know?
Yeah.
That's all anybody says. Orville smokes all that. Blade, you know? There could never be a better Blade than you.
Yeah. That's funny.
You know? it was the movie just came out, and that was a big blockbuster hit.
Yeah,
You
man.
you looked the part, and you were like, oh, forget about it, right? Come on, everybody went crazy.
Yeah,
But
those
then
days.
I remember in San Fran, because I know you had like a little bit of a mix, if I remember,
Mm.
and you didn't win,
No,
and I thought you won, but you didn't win,
no.
and you said to me, um, yeah, maybe I should put a more like traditional salsa so that the people will like it. And I said to you, I said, Orville, don't go down to the level. Let them catch up to you because you're
Mm,
kind of ahead of your time.
mm.
And you started doing your thing, and then when we started talking, I just mentioned like a little bit of like Afro-Cuban Orishas, but you got very interested.
Yeah, I went full-fledged into that. Yeah,
I
I met up
saw.
with a Cuban dancer who was really into the Orisha stuff, and yeah, I started learning Chango, Ogun, and all. Yeah, I actually, but I felt like that part of my career within dance, that part really helped me to evolve because I was really just an on one dancer. Like I was just like and that really helped me evolve. And so I didn't know what to expect, but I went full in. I went full in, and I said, I'm going to go through it all, and that up to this day helps me with body movement control and
I
everything.
remember it was mainly me and Gordon Neal and you that we
Mm,
would talk about that.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
at
yeah.
the time,
What was
Afro-Cuban
it?
wasn't a thing. It
No,
wasn't as popular as it is now. It was
no,
popular
no.
elsewhere, but
Mm,
not in our little bubble.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
I'm here thinking, I'm here thinking, yeah, you know what? I mentored Orville a little bit Afro-Cuban, but
yeah, yeah.
then I'm talking about like my limited knowledge of Afro-Cuban. I just knew a little bit. Then we go to North Carolina, and you came out in a full chango outfit,
Yeah, man.
and bro,
Yeah.
me and Gordon were just sitting there like again, it's not a common thing in our bubble. Maybe
No.
in Cuba and elsewhere, but not our environment.
Yeah, no, it
And
was.
me and Gordon were like, "Oh my god, that was like amazing with the
Yeah,
facial,
yeah,
everything."
yeah, 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 man.
But it was so authentic that the audience just stood there like this, right? And I said to you like this. You probably don't remember, but I go, "Oh, well, that was amazing." But maybe for the audience, maybe you should put a little bit some salsa into it. And you said to me, "No, I'm not gonna go to that level. They're gonna have to catch up to me." I was like,
Learn from the greatest,
"Yo,
man.
like, oh."
Learn from the greatest.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
because I want to tell these stories, and then I want to pick your brain on how you come up with all these things.
yeah, yeah,
So that's the second part that was a big influence in our relationship as dancers. And I again, I am a big um advocate fan of creativity. I always want to
yeah,
show people, look what I created. That was the mentality back in those days. Look what I created,
yeah,
and then the fame came from it.
yeah.
So I was the flavor of the month. I was traveling everywhere,
Absolutely.
and that's when I went to. I got hired to go to Amsterdam, and I was um bigging you up big time. I said to the promoter, "Yo, you got to bring Orville, bro. This guy got some amazing, crazy ass choreography. He's a great dancer. He has knowledge. I mean, crazy. I'm like hyping you up, right?"
Yeah, yeah,
And he, lucky for me, like people trust me enough,
yeah.
because I don't say people think I'm nice. I'm not a nice person. I just say the truth.
Yeah, you don't sugarcoat anything,
Yeah.
man.
I tell people, with me, good or bad, right or wrong, I'm gonna say
Yeah,
what I feel.
yeah, I feel you.
And then the promoter said yes.
That was Maury, right? Was
Yeah,
it Maury?
I
Yeah.
think so. More, yeah, yo,
Yeah.
and you went over there and you shut it down. You shut it down, right? So everybody loves you. And then we had a Q&A at the end, And this is another interesting thing that I want people to realize, because there's always two sides.
Yeah, yeah.
And while we're talking and asking questions, one guy asked the teachers, why don't you guys ever talk about the history of salsa, the history of dance? All you guys is teach moves and teach this and teach that. And
I
I went like
remember
this.
this.
Yeah, I went like this. I went, and you said, I got this.
I remember this.
You were like, you like Chinese food? And the whole place just paused, like, and he looked at you like, what? And he goes, no, do you like Chinese food? He goes, yeah. All right, do you know anything about the Ming Dynasty and all that historical stuff? And he's like, no. He goes, well, it's kind of like the same thing. People teach me, they want to learn how to dance. If they want to learn more of the history, then we have a talk after,
Yes.
But I'm not gonna, throw it down people's throats until they're interested. And it was crazy because, again, I used to be also the one that'd be like, yeah, you gotta learn the history, but some people just want to learn to dance, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
hearing that side came, it was really good, like, did that just pop into your head, or you had to like,
No, well, no. I mean, so I'm not someone to force people. I don't believe in doing that. Sometimes I guess in situations if it's for their own good. But let me say it this way, rather, I love that people have the freedom of choice. And so, yeah, for me, when he came with that question, it really felt like he was almost pointing the fingers at teachers in regards to why aren't you doing this? And that's the first thing that came to my head. I didn't rehearse it. I didn't think about it before he started talking about this. Because as a teacher, I'm there to teach, but I'm also there to teach what people want to learn. And through that whole time, while I was doing my classes, while I was teaching my lessons and stuff like that, very few people came up and asked about history and asked about, what happened, where did the music come from, all this kind of stuff. And so, although there was room for that if it was to happen, it really didn't happen. I mean, like you said, people just want to learn to dance. Throw some salsa songs on, and so for me, as a teacher, I felt like it was important to respect how people are approached, or how people what people want to do. This is something that was really important to me. So when he said that, I was like, okay, well, it's fine because you really believe in something. I really respect that, but that does not give you the push to have to force it down people's throats. And that's why I came up with, do you like Chinese food? I
yeah.
remember Maury at one point, he used to bring that up a lot, about this question about me asking people about Chinese food, and after a while became kind of a joke. We'd be like, "You like Chinese food?"
Yeah, it did. It became a thing because everybody paused. It's like he thought he had us like in a gotcha moment, and
Mm.
even though he's not wrong, there's a place, and we learned that there's a time and place for it.
Yeah, he
And
was
and
definitely not wrong. Definitely
yeah,
not wrong. But yeah, there is a time and a place for it. And like as a teacher, you're supposed to be able to provide and supply your students with info. But this whole salsa thing is about paying money to learn to dance. But then I'm going to be talking people's ears off. It doesn't work.
I was
And
guilty
this.
of that. I was guilty of that, and I lost students. Because I tried to force it on them. I lost students because of it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think people in general are very, like we say, very close to their money. And if I'm going to give money out, I'm going to give money out for a very specific thing. And if I'm not getting that thing, then it doesn't become it yeah, it changes. My desire for it changes, and so I can imagine that if you're doing a lot of history in the class and stuff, and people are not into that, they'll leave. Yeah.
Very good. Now, shortly after that, you get
Shit.
invited. You get invited back. Like you're a hit. You're a hit over there. You know. I thought you were a hit in New York, but you was a big hit in Europe.
Yeah.
And then you tell me I'm gonna move to Amsterdam and I'm gonna become a citizen.
Yeah. Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah,
Like
man.
I've never
Yeah.
heard of such a thing. You know,
Yeah.
I was blown away. I said, yo, you live in Canada and you just gonna up and leave. What made
Yeah,
that
man.
decision? You know, like
Yeah.
how you?
Yeah. Listen, I am probably one of the most focused people you will ever meet. I I know what I want. I know what I want to achieve, and I will do what I need to achieve it, as long as I'm not hurting people, as long as I'm not affecting people in negative ways. I'm going to really push to try and achieve that. That's just the way I am. And anything that I do, everything that I pick up is ends up being some type of a major situation in my life, you know. And so mm when I went to Europe, well, I mean, I have to also talk about England, because the first place I went across the pond, let's say, was London, England. And I did a few shows there, and that went well. And then we went to Amsterdam through you. And yeah, when I got there and I saw the possibilities of what I could be doing, I thought to myself, I need to do that. Frankie Martinez was also hovering around Europe. Who else was there? There were a few guys at the time. You as well. And so, yeah, that was just my focus. I was just like, no, this is what I'm going to do. Am I a dancer? Yes, I am. Am I going to be dancing? I'm going to try and, reach the potential of what I can do. Yes. And so that's why it was a no-brainer for me.
Yeah, and again, like some of the small collage I put together, just a
Mm.
few of like your crazy ideas that
Mm.
you will come up with, and like I said, always enjoyable.
Yeah. What's up, Roman? Yeah. Romano.
Uh,
Yeah, man. The
Poland,
Warsaw.
hey,
Let's go.
Poland in the
Yeah.
house. Yeah, like
Yeah.
and again, Poland, Amsterdam, all those they've really embraced your creativity. Like they
Yeah, very much. Poland for me was also one of the awesome one of I mean like everywhere I went there was something special. That's for sure. But
right.
there were a few places when I was going back and forth a little bit. There were a few places that really I would say took me in. Amsterdam or Holland was one of them. Poland was one of them. UK was another. These places really I was working there very often. Yeah.
All right. So th- and I want you to correct me if I'm wrong because
Mm.
I'm just telling you from where I see it.
Yeah.
Um, from my point of view, a lot of themes was done a lot by the LA dancers. You know, like
Hmm.
Los Rumberos, Salsa Brava. Um, and here in the East Coast, what people don't realize, that's the one that will have a little bit of a theme, were the Dominicans with Julio La Salsa and Niño
Hmm.
Prodigio,
Hmm.
and they had kind of themes, but they were kind of out of the Congress radar. They were like in their own little world, like Amanda Stilo and La Shorty. You know,
Hmm.
they had their own little vibe. And but doing like movies and stuff like that. When I first saw it was again the Vasquez brothers and the West Coast because that's Hollywood.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
were you influenced by that, or was something in Toronto that got you doing stuff like that?
Well, I met up with Anna. That was she was living in Toronto. She's the one who I made the blade routine with initially. And I met up with her, and she was really into the LA style, really into the Vasquez brothers and what they were doing. At one, there's that old video of him doing the cowboy routine. I cannot remember who that was with, but
Was
anyway,
it Cowboy? Was it Alice Penosa?
Olivia. Was it? No, no, it wasn't Olivia. Was it Olivia? No, no. But I know she. No, I think that was maybe. Nah, I can't remember. But she was really into it, And so, because we were dancing LA style, and that was actually at the time that was the thing, you know,
Yeah.
like every competition that I joined in LA when I was competing was based was this theme based kind of stuff, you know, this movie
Yeah.
stuff
Edie
like
the
you
South
had.
African, Alice Spinoza. That's what you're talking about.
Hmm?
Edie the South African,
Yeah, 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 yeah,
and
yeah,
Alice
yeah.
Spinoza, they did the cowboy routine.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's right, that's right, that's right.
Liquid
Yes, yes,
Silver.
yes, 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 yes. And they did RoboCop as well.
Yeah.
When he runs diagonally across the stage, yo, that
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
so crazy to me, man. But yeah. So that was a really big thing. So Anna was really, really big into that kind of stuff, and it just grew on me. And we started looking at stuff and seeing. So I would say yes, that was one of the influences for me to pick up this kind of movie theme type of routine. Yeah.
Yeah. You took it to another level, though.
Yeah, man, I was trying, man. It was, you know, it's hard because I sat back and I looked, and I started doing research. I started looking at stuff. There are like, for example, the Vasquez brothers always had really tight routines. Edie also had tight routines, you know, within that on one thing. There are a few of them that had really tight routines, and I just studied them and saw things I liked, things I didn't like, things I wanted to change, things I wanted to keep, and it just grew from there. It just became my own thing
Yeah. I
eventually.
think
Yeah.
if you and Alice Spinoza would have got together, it would have been like out of
Mm.
this universe, because you guys were, because you know what, you guys were very animated. You guys were like real actors. You would like
Yeah.
get into the part. You wouldn't just do, oh, look at me, I'm this part. No, you guys immerse yourself into this part.
Yeah.
So now I'm gonna ask a few typical questions.
Mm.
Now that you got me thinking, did you like take any like formal classes, acting classes, like something that got you to where you are? Or you were just you know what, I just want to try this.
No, I just decided to try it. I've never taken an acting course or singing or anything. I never played an instrument, none of that stuff. But like I said before, you know, for me, it was really a situation of if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And I remember when I used to talk with Anna, and I used to talk about she was so up to wanting to do these routines and stuff. I told her, I said to her, if we are going to dress up as clowns, I am not going to be a salsa dancer in a clown outfit,
Hmm.
which was something that I really took to heart, which basically meant if I was going to wear a costume that was not traditional, you know, or salsa representing in terms of costume, I would have to, from top to bottom, be in that role. So that's when I came up with my favorite routine out of my all the routines I've done was Troy. I don't know if you saw that one.
Yes, yes, I saw that one.
That routine for me was because we really played the part with the show swords, even the choreography, even the movement. With yeah, it was just a whole package for me. That routine. Blade obviously is my love, but when it comes to like my passion of dancing, this Troy routine was really what I loved. Yeah.
Oh my God, I would put the Troy routine merging with Alice Spinoza's Pirates of the Caribbean routine, like
Oh
But
yeah.
aside from that,
Mm.
you also did the one. What was that group's name? It was a very popular group. Around the world,
Oh,
around the
yeah, Daft Punk.
yes,
Yeah,
Daft Punk.
yeah,
Oh
yeah, yeah,
man,
yeah,
now again another great idea.
yeah.
Now one thing I can appreciate is this: what I tell people: when you did a fusion, most groups were strong at one and weak on the other. You were
Mm,
strong at both. Whatever you did, you make sure you were strong at in the if you did hip hop, if you did whatever you did.
yeah.
Um, did you know like that, or you just took chances?
Well, I mean, I think my mind is pretty creative, and so for me, it's not necessarily about doing the most difficult stuff. It's doing stuff that will work. But, I mean, just before we go further, it's very important for me to say that the people that I worked with in my groups and in my teams, they were phenomenal dancers, because it wouldn't have come out the way it did if they were not around. They worked hard. They were right on point. They were accurate. And for me, like I said, when you're dancing as two people, I think it's a lot harder to have it come across. Mm, Most of the stuff eventually I was doing with a group, and so because we were more, it didn't have to be complicated for it to really look good, and that's what I kind of used, which kind of saved us on difficulty level, and kind of saved us also on having. As it gets more difficult, it's harder to choreograph, to synchronize, that kind of stuff, all that stuff. So that's why I really try to see what would work, formations, footworks and stuff. And a lot of the stuff I did, if you ever watched the videos, a lot of the stuff I did was not salsa, especially when we went into like what we would call shines and stuff. It wasn't salsa.
Right.
It was something to make that part come alive and happen. It's just a whole. But the dancers that I used to dance with, amazing, 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 amazing. Simply,
Okay,
all
so
the women,
you
all the
definitely
men.
one of the kings of fusion. But what I've noticed also is that you had huge knowledge of salsa. You were well versed in the history and the instruction. Like, I guess that goes back to what you said, that when you get into something, you really get into it, because it's important
Yeah.
that you understand both worlds. You know.
hmm Yeah, it was important for me to. I wanted to present myself as a leader, and it was important for me to be able to have that knowledge to carry, and to lead other people. The dancers that I used to dance with were really saw the vision of what I wanted to do, and so I didn't want to take that for granted. It was really up to me also to make sure that there was a path that we can go down. And not be in a situation where we don't know what's going on. I always had to make sure that I was on top of things, and they just did stuff amazingly. Yeah.
Okay, so now Orville being Orville, you're
Mm.
doing your thing, and then now you do a total like 360, and now you started getting your crump on.
Get my crump on, bro.
Yo,
Yeah, yeah,
yo. And then I just recently saw that documentary Rise, and then I saw
yeah,
you like,
yeah.
yo.
Hmm.
I was like, yo, how did that like evolve? Because you got big into it.
Yeah. Well, you see, so there was a point in time when I was dancing salsa where I felt like it wasn't mine anymore. Uh, Odd to say, but um, after all the traveling, after all the teaching, the workshops, the shows, the choreographies and stuff like that, I kind of felt like it was something that I was doing more for others than for myself.
Mhm.
So while I was dancing salsa, I decided to see, let me try and get into something that I can do for myself, because salsa actually started just me wanting to do something. Um, and so I tried tap, I tried house, I tried even hip hop, and yeah, it didn't give me that salsa feeling, that feeling
Yeah.
that salsa gave me. So um, so someone had given me this. I don't even know where I got it from, but Rise, and I watched it and I thought, wow, this is really. It was so raw and so like, yeah, it was crazy. And so that then I got into it, and that was for me. So I was doing that for myself, but obviously that also blew up, and I ended up doing stuff. But I was, I think, a little bit more cautious about it still being mine when I was doing it. And eventually, salsa kind of faded out, and it kind of took over. Crumps took over, and now it's kind of happening the other way around. Not that Crump is I'm happy, I'm healthy with Crump, and I'm glad where I've gone with it. And I don't feel like it's not mine. I still feel it's here. But for some reason or other, salsa has come back in my life as well, and now
I
I'm
noticed.
boot
I
camping.
noticed like one day, I'm just scrolling on social media, then you come out and you're doing a crump, and then the
Yeah,
next day you're teaching salsa, you know,
yeah, I
and like,
know.
yeah, you do one thing or another, and again, do it very well. Like, I love when people make these connections equally, you know.
Yeah,
Because I would see people they try to do hip hop and the salsa, and either the hip hop is good, salsa is bad, or vice versa. You know,
yeah, yeah.
and you
This
like I said, you did both.
yeah, this
So
is
now
something
you're
that I
doing a
also
little
look
bit of
at.
everything, a
Yeah.
little everything in that to a point that I sent you a clip of my daughter doing a crump class. You know, she didn't want me to
Listen,
show that to nobody, but I had to show it to you. You know,
yeah, yeah, man. I think crump is like one of the freest expressions that you can experience dancing. Um, because it's limitless. Like with salsa, there are boundaries because you have steps that you have to respect, and there's
yes.
timing that you have to respect. With crump is like a rapper who's really good at jumping off beat, then back on beat, and then this and that. It's just so free. I think it's like one of the best things ever. Like really, yeah.
I also saw a video
Mm.
because 15 years ago, you know, we were like doing our thing, but now most of us have kids, you know. So
Yeah,
my daughter's
that's.
dancing. I saw a video of you dancing with your daughter,
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Um, did you like tell her to dance, or she just followed your lead?
So here in Holland, after they finish elementary, or in their last year of elementary, they go to high schools. And we need to go to different high schools because she has to pick at least five high schools that she would want to go to. And then it's kind of like a lottery, and then they see which school they go to. So we went to this school called Serbroek, which is a what we call a top sport school. So it's a school where football players get to continue playing football, high level football, and incorporate it within their schooling. And there's also a top sport dance program there.
Oh
So
wow!
we went there, and then a few days later, she said, I think I want to dance. Wait, what? Because she was like really full fledged into horseback riding and stuff like that. And so
Wow.
this really was like a shock to me. But I was like, okay, let's go. Um, so yeah, she just decided that she wanted to do it, and now she's loving it. She's really full fledged into it.
Yeah, that's amazing. Like I said, most of us, our kids are dancing at one point or another, whether it's socially or
Yeah,
professional, whatever. But
yeah,
they're kind of like following.
yeah.
Um, so now this is another thing. I'm kind of now I want to ask you this question. Maybe you could answer it because
Mm.
um I've been dancing over 30 years.
Yeah,
I've
man.
acquired so much knowledge, you know, and so a lot of the pioneers and a lot of the really good creators, if you're not new and fresh, you're not getting hired anymore. And of course, I tell people, look, I've been there, done that.
Hmm.
It's somebody else's turn now, which is totally fine. But at the same time, I ask myself, should you hire some people that have this immense knowledge, from a long journey? So some of my friends they will call me, when I wasn't being hired as much,
Hmm. Hmm.
and my friends, other artists will call me, yo, did you get hired for this? I go, no. He goes, and they will panic. I go, listen, either wait your turn again, or reinvent yourself, or work harder. I said,
Hmm.
if you're not doing one of those three, don't panic.
Hmm.
So he used to close congresses. After that, they stopped calling him to a point where he was always panicking, and he would actually start approaching promoters and be like, "I'll do it for free." Like people,
Yeah, I know that life. That's one route that I would never take. And I mean, respectfully, um, uh, the the number one thing for me is and respectfully said, I really do not care what people feel about what my expression is. And if it is that I'm not being booked, then I'm not being booked. I've never banked on people liking me or liking my product. I just throw my product out there, and if it sells, it sells. If it doesn't, I still enjoy it. Mm. Now, I know when you're putting a lot of work into something, eventually it's time, and time equals money. And so you need to have some kind of revenue from it. So I can understand that panic and I can understand that thing. But I always set myself up in a way that dance would never be something I have to rely on for money. That's my expression. Um, and um, if it, if the work that you put in, and see, this is what I'm saying right now, because now I'm starting to speak to people who I used to speak to a little back ago. One video came out, and now and I'm it's like I'm back in without even doing anything. But people say, hey, yeah, but do you realize what you've done? Do you realize the things that you've put? And so because of that, I really appreciate it, and I will never take that for granted. But if that didn't happen, I wouldn't sweat it. You feel me?
yeah,
It's my
and that's
expression.
why, because I think people, they, and I tell this to everybody. I go, listen, most of us were just good dancers that were given a platform and a stage to move up to a certain level.
Hmm.
So a lot of people know how to like kind of like get to the top, but they don't know either how to stay there or just float in the middle, or if they go down, accept that's okay. You know what? It's not my turn anymore. Let me just,
Hmm.
or let me try something else until I do a comeback.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a lot of people don't have mentors or people to school them about that. And I'm
Hmm.
pretty sure, like I said, people ask you questions all the time, and I get emails, texts all the time from the younger people,
Hmm.
and I schooled them, and I'm like, you know what? I wish I had that,
Hmm.
um, because I would have been better off because we were just having the best time, every weekend a different country of partying,
Yeah.
making money,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
It
nobody
was crazy.
prepares you. Yeah, they don't prepare you.
No.
But luckily, not only do you have your mentality, but you also a nurse. You have many things you could have gone.
Yeah. Hmm.
Now, do you ever think about how your life would have been if you didn't leave to Amsterdam? You're not experiencing the things that we
Man,
experience here now.
yeah,
You're like,
yeah. That's a really crazy question for me because I've never thought about that. I was pen fingers in, go. I was all in. So me thinking about what it would be if I didn't go was not even an option in my head. Um,
and no regrets.
well, I know it wouldn't be like it is now. That's for sure. um, Maybe I would be more in the circuit in North America. I have no idea, but I cannot even imagine that. I cannot even. Yeah.
No, but I think you made really great choices. Um,
Yeah.
you know, um, again, it's just amazing because back in the days, things that you did wasn't common. You know,
Yeah.
um, and most people will go to Italy at the time, or most of them will always want to come here.
Yeah.
But
Hmm.
just hearing them that in Amsterdam they have those programs where you could choose horseback riding, like or sports and stuff like, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
don't have that here. At least,
No,
yeah.
no, and that's what I said. I said to myself when I started researching this school. I said, man, if we had this when we were growing up, like they get mentored on like injuries and health and eating and dancing and like everything we did was just from what we knew, which was actually nothing. When it came to that kind of stuff, we were just day in and day out banging uh, out congresses. And wow, when I think about it, it was like, yeah, it was hard knocks, man. Yeah.
Yeah. So those were like basically the questions that I wanted to ask, and the stories I wanted people to understand how things happened. Um, so like before I let you go, is there anything that
Mm.
you want to express or let people know? Um, in any case, in any anything.
Yeah, just just when if you're looking to do anything, but in this case, if you're looking to dance, just make sure you think about the opportunities, think about, weigh things out, and just really try to put your best foot forward. No pun intended. Really try and make something of it if this is what you want to do. The problem with dance is you don't know how long you're going to be in there. Whether it be because of injury, whether it be because you're the flavor of the month, and then you're finished. This is entertainment, and so you're as good as your last product, and you always have to come up with something else for you to survive. So if you really want to go this route, really put your time into it, make it happen.
Wow, good. I also have a feeling that um, because of social media, you started to post stuff. I think more people are gonna want to know more about you.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
true.
yeah. So like let me do the typical. Where can they find you? So.
Instagram, Orville Small underscore chosen, TCHOZN. That's my Instagram. I have a Facebook too, Orville Small. You can just find me there. But yeah, I'm going to be coming out with a few projects, salsa projects, working with a few people, and doing some stuff, throwing that those heat figures
Yeah, yeah.
that you influenced me with. I still remember in my head when you guys were dancing and you had this. Yeah, just yeah. Anyways, just the way you did them figures with the hands, and so simple but so like that was it. Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Look at
No,
that. Look
so
how
yeah,
like we inspire each other. That's the good part.
most definitely, most definitely, most definitely. And I think because of that, what I mean when I speak about you, what you came up with and what you made, what the envelope that you pushed kept me on my toes. Kept me pushing, kept me banging, kept me trying to be more creative, be more. But it's not just to be creative, but make it work. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Those are two different things, right? And so yeah, you were living rent free in my head, man.
And you too.
That's for sure.
Full
For sure.
circle. Full circle.
Yeah.
You know what?
You had a penthouse and everything all right up here, right? Yeah.
that is one of the reasons I keep going when I hear some of the best dancers I ever seen, and when they tell me stuff like that, I'm like genuinely like um in shock. I don't
Wow.
I don't act it, because I want to look cool on the outside, but on
Yeah.
the inside,
I
yeah,
feel
like
you. I feel you. I feel you. But yeah, it is what it is, coming up within the ranks, being where I was, being where I stayed for a good amount of time. There are many, many people who helped me, and I will never take it for granted, and I will always give people their flowers on what they did for me, and what I reached because of that. So yeah, it is what it is.
all right. So let's
Yeah.
wrap it up now.
Yeah, man.
Everybody, look up his Instagram, add him, look up his shows, but also remember this: hit him up for advice. Right?
Yeah,
He's
most
been there,
definitely.
done that, and like I
Anytime.
said, we're here to make you guys better and not make the mistakes a lot of people have made.
Yeah.
And again,
One more
Orville,
thing. The
yeah,
reason why I came back, or the reason why I am now really focused within dance, salsa specifically, was because I had this kind of um talk with myself regarding the knowledge and what I've done, what I've been through, what I've experienced. And I thought it was really a shame for me to hold that for myself and not help the next person, and not pay it forward. So I really buckled down on myself with that. And so if anybody has any questions, as simple as it may be, as complicated as it may be, choreographies, even contracts, whatever it may be, I'm here. I'm here. You can look me up. Send me an email. I will definitely answer you guys.
You're the man, bro. Like I said, for
Bless, bro.
everybody, I don't do podcasts, or I do this to the people that at the moment I'm like, yo, people need to know something more because it's not just typical.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Wendy says,
Wendy. Yes. Wendy, oh, that's one of my colleagues. Yo, yo, what up,
yeah.
what up?
All right. So I'll
Yeah.
be seeing you on social media, and in the
Yes,
near
bro.
future, we might have another live, okay?
Yeah, man. We keep in touch for sure. Keep it banging, man.
You're the man, bro.
All
Everybody,
right. Later.
peace.
Peace.